Perth indie punk band Lionizer, who are back rehearsing after their September Feels on Wheels tour. I asked them what it was like not only being part of the Perth music scene, but also part of the LGBTIQ community.
Yeah, there's a pretty solid punk scene. There's lots of bands who are playing very regularly, and there's lots of people who are doing the promotion side of things. And it's kind of merging in closer with the rock and the grunge scenes these days, and it's a bit more of a sort of shared space. Just because there's either crossover with musicians in various bands, or the promoters are just we're really into all these different genres. So I think it's Blake Haight at the moment, who's running Flytrap, is just really keen on rock, on punk, on hardcore, on grunge, and so a lot of the bills that he's putting on down in Fremantle are very mixed, and a lot of the things that he's running tend to be very genre spanning. And then you have things like just recently at the Boston, Kim Anderson put on Punks Against Poverty, which is a bit more of that sort of here's all the classic punk groups sort of thing, and the up and coming punk groups as well. And so you kind of get a bit of that, each scene has their own space, but then there's a lot of crossover, so it's really cool. It's more of just a musician's scene rather than a
I was going to say,
individual
I just call it
genre.
The scene in general is kind of cool, just because there isn't really enough really original bands in Perth to divide it up like that, and everyone's pretty supportive of each other anyway, regardless of what you're playing.
If you're playing in a band in Perth, then you kind of know other people who are playing in bands, more so than you know other people who are playing your specific kind of music. And so by extension, you just kind of hang out with everyone a little bit and just cross over wherever you want.
You've had airtime on queer media outlets such as Out in Perth and RTRFM. Have you had a positive reaction to that?
I think for us, in the early days, we sort of sought out Graham throughout in Perth and the All Things Queer on RTRFM sort of team a bit earlier on, because when we were starting out, we knew a lot of other musicians, we knew a lot of bands, but we didn't really know any queer people in the scene. So it was kind of just this is a point of difference for us, so let's just reach out to those people to start with. And those relationships have just continued on. But there's it's kind of just regular culture. There's a little bit of crossover between the queer and the straight community, as there is. But no one's really going, I heard you on All Things Queer, and that was shit, but then I heard you on Drive Time, and that was great. That doesn't really happen.
There's never been a negative experience.
Never been a negative experience? Oh, okay.
No, I think we've been really supported by the queer community, which is amazing, but we've never not been supported outside of that. I think there's never been any backlash from being in that scene at all.
Well, a big thing, obviously, was we've been in this band for quite a while now, 4 or
5 years,
4 years, whatever. And so somewhere in the first year or two of that is when I started transitioning.
Yeah.
And so that was obviously I was putting out a lot of stuff in relation to saying I'm trans, I'm doing this is what's going down now. And obviously that went further than just All Things Queer or Out in Perth, and that sort of became a bit more of a thing that people
it changed
in the non-queer community were hearing. And the response we got from that was overwhelmingly positive. No one was, sending us hate mail or anything like that. And then even at shows, there was a little bit of a weird sort of changeover over a couple of months where people were I'm not really sure what's going on with your drummer, but
there was always people not really sure what to make of it, but they would always sort of ask me or ask Bailey, and both of us just kind of approached it with really open, yep, this is the thing now, and it was never any negativity. It's it was just a really supportive scene, no matter what.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, definitely in the music community, around about the same time that I was coming out, Laura Jane Grace was. And so there you have one of this punk icon already sort of thing, now becoming a trans icon, so it kind of merged those two together pretty well. And so you had a lot of people in the just regular music community suddenly having their knowledge about trans issues or trans people in general just skyrocketing, or at least raising off of complete zero. And so when you're coming in and being well, this is what I'm doing, and I'm trans, Laura Jane Grace, that's cool, I can get behind it. It's just, it's not a thing.
Yeah, punk. I think the punk scene's always been a bit of a boys' club.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's been sort of a lot of the shows that you used to go to and stuff is really big boys' club. Even the shows we play now, it's quite common for us to sort of be sometimes maybe more back in the day, but maybe not have another girl in a band on stage. So it's changing a little bit, I think, depending on who we're playing with now, but for the most part, it's really cool that there isn't any negativity, given the fact that it's traditionally quite a masculine, I guess, boys clubby type
environment. Yeah.
So what upcoming gigs do you have planned in the lead up to December?
We've got a whole bunch of shows. Obviously, we're playing Transtastic on the 5th of November,
yeah.
which should be really fun.
And Bunbury Pride. I did not know Bunbury had a Pride until
Yeah.
very recently.
It's our
So,
first time
yes.
at Bunbury Pride.
First
It's
time,
not our
yeah.
first time in Bunbury.
Yeah, but the Bunbury bands know how to party, that's for sure. They came up and played our EP launch and it was fun. So
Cool, that's
looking
awesome.
forward to it.
Thanks for joining us, Bailey Wheels and Vez, tonight. And yeah, we look forward to seeing you at Transtastic 2016.
See you there.
See you.